Welcome to It's Happening in Grand Prairie. I'm Georgia Clemson, and we have a great show for you today. We have 3 guests, and of course we are socially distancing, so they will be remote, but we're excited to have as our first guest Andrew Fortune with Grand Prairie United Charities, who is going to give us information on how the emergency funding through the city is working with that organization. Welcome, Andrew. We're glad to have you today. And we want to know how this emergency funding is working for Grand Prairie United Charities and the citizens of Grand Prairie.
So with United Charities, we selected them as our third-party administrator. The city wanted to partner with a local entity that was already used to administering a rental assistance program, as well as utility assistance, and Grand Prairie United Charities also does food assistance. And so we started working with them with the food assistance aspect early on in the pandemic. Now, because of the CARES Act funding, we've been able to expand that and offer the rental assistance. Now, rental assistance will cover individuals anywhere from March 1st to the end of November who have been impacted financially in a negative way by COVID-19. And so we wanted to offer this to the people in our city to match what many of the regional cities are doing, as well as provide the money that is needed to our citizens. And so that expands also into the utility aspect with water, electric, gas, as you can imagine. Many people are having difficulty paying all their bills during this time. And so we've been happy to work with United Charities to provide that resource.
We know you see many people on a daily basis, Andrew. About how many are you seeing now?
So on an average day, we have seen anywhere from 25 to 30 clients. And now, as you can imagine, these applications are somewhat lengthy when you're talking about rental assistance or mortgage assistance, utility assistance, but we are very thankful for our volunteers that have expedited that process. In addition to that, we also have applications available, paper applications available at our rec centers throughout the city, here at City Hall, and as well as the public safety building, so that residents who may not have access to internet or have mobility constraints, they'll be able to still access these applications and then bring them to United Charities to be processed.
So, Andrew, what are the requirements to get this rental assistance?
Absolutely. So with any rental assistance program, utility assistance program, we are going to set some thresholds as we have limited funds available. We definitely want to prioritize those, as I've said, who have been impacted by COVID-19. Those requirements are based on financial guidelines consistent with both Dallas and Tarrant County. Our Grand Prairie United Charities entity has been really good at, in the past, administering similar programs. So requirements truly have actually not been that different from what we've seen in the past, with the exception of providing some documentation of the COVID-19 impact. Those documentation, that could be documentation of your increased child care expenses, health care expenses, of course, loss of income, reduction of hours or wages, and up into the loss of your job. We want to make sure that all of our residents who are suffering during this time because of this pandemic have the resources available to them.
What are the steps to get this assistance?
Well, as I've said, it's important for you to first get one of our applications. The application really walks you through each of the documents that are needed when you're coming into the charity to meet with one of our volunteers. As I've said, those applications are available throughout our city. We have opportunity for you to really call in and ask questions. We've got a line there for Grand Prairie United Charities, and we have resources available to walk you through each of those things. First and foremost, it is most important for you to be able to find that documentation or retrieve the documentation showing that you've been adversely impacted by COVID-19. That will be the most important thing, as well as your basic household and financial information.
Andrew, does the city offer any assistance to businesses affected by COVID-19?
We have assistance available through our Chamber of Commerce, as well as a satellite location with Asia Times Square to provide assistance in various languages to our business community. We wanted to reach out with such a diverse culture here in Grand Prairie to make sure that all of our businesses receive the assistance that they need to successfully apply for these loans.
Thank you so much, Andrew, for being with us, and thank you to United Charities for all that you do for the citizens of Grand Prairie. We appreciate you. And We will be right back with some fun information from Parks and Rec.
Habari gani? Jina langu ni Frank Obudo. Natoka Nairobi, Kenya.
Oi, meu nome é Marcos e eu sou brasileiro.
Hello, my name's Samantha. I'm a veteran and a mother.
Xin chào, tôi tên là Thái và tôi đến từ Việt Nam.
Hello, I'm Brandon, and I sang opera professionally.
Hi, my name is Robert, and I play pro football. And I am a Grand Prairie police officer.
And I'm 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 Daniel Cesney, father, Marine Corps veteran, and Grand Prairie police chief. And like all Grand Prairie police officers, one with our community.
Welcome back. And we welcome our next guest, Dwayne Strong, who is the Director of Grand Prairie Parks, Arts, and Recreation Department. Welcome, Dwayne. What's the status of our Parks and Rec Department?
Well, thank you, Miss Georgia, for having me today. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to see a few more things open. As a Parks and Rec professional, the hardest thing for us to do is to close things down. So we've worked tirelessly to open stuff back up. And so over the next couple of weeks, for example, the farmers market just opened last weekend, and it was a soft opening. We didn't do a lot of big social media because we wanted to kind of see how it was going to work. And so we opened it to 10 vendors, and I was very surprised. Saturday morning, it really was a lot of people there. And everybody was ready to get out and start enjoying the things that we worked so hard for. And so everybody was wearing their mask and everybody was social distancing. And so we're going to watch that over the next couple of weeks and see how it works, and then slowly start to maybe expand that outside a little bit and grow our vendors and slowly try to go back to the way that we were before. The next thing that's going to open is the Uptown Theater is open to rentals. The Presine series got pushed back to the fall. The Arts Council they're looking at their schedule too. So right now we're just open for rentals and events and items like that. And so that is slowly coming back on. And then the next thing I'm very excited about is our pools. And they're going to open on July 6th. That's a Monday after the big holiday. And so our indoor pools, which is the Epic and the Natatorium, are going to open on the 6th. And they're going to be open for lap swim by reservation, so you can block out your time, and then limited open swim. And on the indoor and the outdoor pools, the open swim is going to be the hard part. But both of those are going to be open, and then our outdoor pools will be open a little bit different this year because they're going to be open just 2 days a week, and that'll be rotating through the week. And it's going to be to limited open swim also because we're at a smaller capacity, and so it's changed. But one of the nice things is because we're opening late in the summer, we're opening to a limited capacity and a weird schedule, is our outdoor pools are actually going to be free this year. So you can just come and enjoy. All of our pools are going to close for 1 to 2 hours during the middle of the day, get everybody out, and that way they can sanitize, get it all cleaned and ready for the next group of swimmers coming in. So that kind of takes us through the next couple of weeks.
Dwayne, what about the Summit and Playground Adventures?
Well, unfortunately, those two special projects are the last ones that we're looking to open. And the reason are because they're very unique. The Summit is a standalone active adult center. The Playground Adventures is, even though it's all-inclusive, it was really designed for children and adults with special needs. In both of those venues, the clientele are in a high-risk age or underlying health issues that keep them in that range that we've got to be safe. We want to open, and the quicker we can open, we're happy, but we got to open in a time that's safe for our clientele. But it also has to be safe for our staff also. So we are continuing to look at venues throughout the state that have that same description as the Summit and Playground Adventures, see how they're opening and how that's working. We don't want to be the first to open, we don't want to be the last. We want to see how it's working for those particular venues so that when we do open both of these, it's as safe as we can possibly open.
What about summer camps and summer programs?
On that one also, our staff continues to look at what we can do. And where it comes down to is how do you social distance a group of 10 to 12-year-olds? And that's very difficult. And so, again, we have a really good network of the venues throughout the Metroplex, throughout the state, and everybody's kind of working on that same process of how do you do camps, what is the capacity that we're able to do camps, and when you do have camps, is it just with 2 or 3 kids? And how do you do that where they're still having fun, they're still able to be kids, but we're able to social distance? And so that's the process that everybody's working through now on how to do it. Unfortunately, it looks like that we're leaning toward not being able to do that. But in the meantime, while we're trying to figure those details out, we're doing a lot of virtual program. We have virtual culinary classes, virtual art classes, virtual fitness classes, and the groups we're working on now, it's called Camp in a Box. And the way the program works is for a nominal fee per week. You can run by the rec center, they'll hand you a box of camp supplies, and then you take that home, hook onto the website, and our staff is going to walk through the cooking classes, the arts classes, the science classes, all that with you. Everything's in the box, and you can do that at home at the safety of your own home. So we're doing a lot of virtual programming while we're trying to get the kids back. Our staff wants to have the kids back in the centers. We want that interaction with the children. We just got to do it safely.
Dwayne, how are you able to enforce social distancing and mask recommendations?
Well, if it's for the adults, it's easy because you can reason with adults. And so in our venues masks are recommended for our patrons if you're able to social distance. If you're not able to social distance and you're within that 6 feet, then the masks are required, and staff will interact, and we have to police that. But that's the easy part. The hard part is the kids. The kids don't want to wear masks. They want to get in groups. They don't want to social distance. And so, because right now none of our venues are drop-off, is if you're there with your parents, and the parents can help us kind of police all that. So even though it's something that's difficult, the staff is prepared to work with the children, work with the adults, and try to keep everybody as safe as possible.
How will COVID-19 affect our park system in the future?
Well, I'm a glass half full kind of person. And so the way I see it, and you can look across the nation, and everybody's tired of being in the house. What we're seeing throughout our city and the whole Metroplex is more and more people are getting out. They want to use our trails. They want to use the playgrounds. They want to use the ball fields. They want to use the open areas of the park. They want to use the lake. They want to get out. And so we're seeing a surge of people wanting to get out and use our facilities. Way it's changed maybe to the negative is everything that Parks and Rec does is we are designed to bring a lot of people together. Big events, big venues, big thing at the lake. And so now we're having to plan these things and incorporate social distancing. And so that's going to be a challenge, and all of our events going forward are going to be organized around, okay, we can't get a good crowd here, but how do you do social distancing? And so that side has kind of been a little hard on our staff, but we're resilient, and everybody else in the country are in that same boat of how do we continue to serve our citizens and bring people downtown, bring people to Grand Prairie, put on these great events and the fantastic venues and social distance. So, we got good staff and they're figuring those things out.
Thank you, Dwayne, for this great information. And we'll be right back with something very exciting, public art. Welcome back. Our next guest is Rita Heap, who is the manager of Community Revitalization and Downtown. Rita, tell us about public art downtown.
Well, thank you for having me, Miss Georgia. Well, we have been working on murals. That's been the number one goal for us right now. We have 9 murals, and I'm going to list them from east to west. So behind the subway, we have some hummingbirds that are beautiful. You just need to see those if you haven't already. Behind DDS Computers, which is right next door to Jack in the Box, we have a blue eye. With some reflection, also by some great artists. A Frida Kahlo mural behind the Tuscanies. We have the street crossing artwork at Main and 2nd Street. At the Lennox House, you'll find an orange wall with the words welcome in Spanish that says bienvenidos. The Firehouse Gastro Park also had an art installation on their east wall, as well as on the container of their outdoor kitchen that faces Main Street. There is another cactus mural at Theo's Bar and Grill. We have an Eat Well at the Texas Restaurant Supply, which is at 161 in Maine, and the Be Kind mural that the Grand Prairie Independent School District's fine arts students did behind the farmers market.
Are there plans to add more?
Definitely. Just keep an eye out in downtown Grand Prairie and also in other locations around downtown, like our premier bridal venue, the Ruthie Jackson Center. You can check our Instagram at Downtown GPTX, where we will probably be one of the first places that the new murals will be announced.
Rita, what about art in other places around town?
Well, you can check out the Tourist Center. They have this beautiful camper mural that was done. You can take selfies out there. They also have bluebonnets, a bluebonnet wall that you can take selfies and just hashtag them. I'll get to the hashtags in just a little bit. The libraries, the Warmack Library and the main library has a book mural. The Warmack has this beautiful butterfly. It's a new mural that was just done. We have 40 traffic signal boxes that have been done throughout the city, and there are plans for more. Not sure when exactly, but there are plans for more. There's the Westchester Bridge that was a PID and city partnership that was done. And we also have the Beltline mural that was just refurbished in mid-March.
What does public art mean to our community?
Well, public art can mean a lot of different things to different people, but one thing it does is starts a conversation. It's one person's story, the artist, and it can be interpreted differently and uniquely to any individual that experiences it. It means bringing the community together by building social capital and enhancing physical and mental well-being. It unites people regardless of age, nationality, or religion. It can create value in the community by enriching quality of life, growing tourism, cultural tourism that is, and it even increases property values. It can bring an identity to the community. And best of all, it's free.
If someone wants to Instagram pictures with this art, what hashtag do we use?
Well, our most popular ones are GPTX, hashtag Downtown GPTX, hashtag Live Life Grand GP, and hashtag Go Grand GP. So kind of in closing though, I'd like to say that, you know, we encourage our residents and our visitors to drive around Grand Prairie, look for these hidden gems that we have throughout the city. We hope to be doing a lot more in the very near future. It's free, get out and enjoy.
Thank you so much, Rita, and thank you to our other guests, and thank you all for joining us. And remember, it's happening in Grand Prairie.